Okay, so welcome everyone to September's monthly Zoom. We're going to talk today about immunity tonight, about how to have a proactive approach to immunity as we come up to the autumn winter months. We're also going to look at energy and fatigue with Lisa and talk about some of the offers that you might want to take advantage of. So I'll just start with looking into those. And let me know if you can't see it. I think my brain's gone since I've been away. I just don't know how to do things anymore. There we go. Right, go. Present. Okay. Can everyone see that? Yeah. Okay, so this month we've got a really good offer actually. The first ever 150 PV offer. So the normal, when you do your loyalty rewards template, if you order before the 15th and it's 125 PV, you get the rescuer, the little rescuer free. And that is like the deep blue version for kids, but it's not just for kids, you could use it yourself. So it contains spearmint, lavender, copaiba. So it's really soothing for discomfort, for growing pains, if the kids have got sort of headache or even tummy, any sort of discomfort or tension, or for yourself. So that's a really good one to roll on at night, or if they've hurt themselves, a little bruise, just put it over the bruise. That's really handy to roll on, and it smells absolutely lovely as well. So it's a really comforting one for children or yourself. So there's obviously a soothing theme going on here. So we've got the soothing blend for kids, and then we've got the offer for the deep blue. So if you order, but if you stretch your order up to 150 PV, then you get the deep blue stick as well. Don't know if anyone's used that yet, but I used it yesterday and I've used it quite a lot. I thought it wasn't as strong as the deep blue rub, but actually I was wrong. It was really effective for my back pain because I've been on the floor camping for 3 days. So yeah, it was really effective. A really handy stick, and the copaiba in it does help to sort of drive the other oils through to the muscle to penetrate deeper. So that's a handy one for free as well. And then if you want to stretch the order to 200 PV, you actually get all three, which is pretty amazing. So you get the deep blue rub, which is £31.50, worth £31.50, £24 for the stick worth, and I think this is about £30 for the actual neat oil. So that's 60, 70, 80, so over £80 worth free if you do a 200 PV order. So if you are running out of stuff, it's probably useful to bump up your order. And then we've got turmeric, which is 10% off this month as well, if anyone likes turmeric. Yeah, so this is how to use the rescuer. Great for relaxing children if they're feeling a bit tense or got pain or anything like that. We've also got Harvest Spice, and like an autumnal one, which is really warming. It includes sort of cassia, clove, cinnamon, nutmeg. You can get the idea of the smell, the wonderful sort of homely, warming smell that would create. So that's a lovely one, and that is £25.75 for a 15 ml. So that's a lovely one in the diffuser to create that cozy atmosphere at home. And some things that we can do with turmeric, we know how great it is for inflammation, and there's a turmeric tea recipe here if anyone likes making tea. Different teas. Don't know about putting butter in it, but this is from doTERRA, so you can leave the butter out if you don't like butter in your tea. And then yeah, so you can use it obviously in cooking. Some people make a golden paste with turmeric, because we know that turmeric powder and turmeric oil together are more absorbable for the body. So if anyone wants a turmeric paste recipe, I will send it through the chat after. I've got it, and you can just keep it in the fridge. You can add it to curries or whatever, or you can take it different ways, and that's a really good one, because eventually we are actually having the turmeric capsules are coming with the oil and the powder together, which are awesome. And they'll be coming, I think, in about 4 months. I've heard we've been waiting for these for a long time, so watch out for that. And then we've got the La Luz diffuser. So this is a glass diffuser. So it's high density glass. There's different settings. There's like a bright lavender light, a low lavender, and then like a bright white one, and then a more warming light as well. So that's quite a nice one if you want to upgrade your diffuser, and that's available now in your shop. And then moving on to immunity, and then we'll go on with Lisa's little bit. So just thought about respiratory support. A lot of people, as the seasons change, they start to get congestion, don't they? Maybe they get colds and things like that, or the kids get bunged up, they come home from school and they'll get coughs and colds. So these are some really good ways to support us or our children. And the most effective ways of using these oils for our respiratory system is to actually inhale it through cupped hands, deep breaths in and out, and even through your mouth as well. Because of the antiviral properties in like the air, it can really help to support things like infection in the lungs and the bronchial areas. So a really deep breath will be really effective, as well as diluting the oil, whichever you choose, and applying it to the chest, back, and feet at night time. So 2 ways to use these oils. You have got a ready-made vapor stick as well in the doTERRA shop. I think it's about £7 or £8, and that can just be rolled on. And then you've got the air drops. So another, I think there's sort of peppermint and cardamom and other, I think lemon oil as well. So the little sweets that you can take just to, obviously kids will love sweets. I think it's got rice syrup in instead of sugar, so it's quite a natural one. So they're really good at helping to open up the airways as well. And then if you've got any of these oils, we've got this Kick the Cough massage roller. So rosemary is one of the really top one to use for helping with our breathing, as well as air. And lime is really good as well as cardamom. So if you've got any of these, or if you've just got air, that would be great. Or even On Guard's got rosemary in, so that would be really effective. And obviously frankincense with any of this on the lungs is really powerful. Frankincense with anything is just going to enhance the effect on this. So that's a little Kick the Cough roller that you can make up for yourself or your children at this time of year. Lime and cardamom are brilliant at helping to break down phlegm as well. Some really good properties in there. And then we've got the Flume Bomb. So you're probably all familiar with the Flume Bomb. So if in doubt, go for the Flume Bomb. This is a really good way to support ourselves in the winter months. We can use a drop of each one. So each letter represents each oil. So frankincense, lemon, oregano, On Guard, and tea tree. And you can just take a drop of each in a capsule. A good time to take it is nighttime, because then your body can then deal with whatever's going on in the body. So if you run down, you feel like you're going to come down with something, take a Flume Bomb at nighttime. If you're really bad during the day, then you could take it sort of a few times a day, every sort of 4 hours or something, for up to 10 days. If you've got any extra oils like black pepper or melissa, you could add those to this Flume Bomb, or copaiba. They're all great for helping to stimulate the immune system. So they're all great ones to add to that. So you can make a Flume Bomb plus. You can make your own ones up. And if you want to support children, then, and they're a bit too young to take them internally, then you could use a roller. Depending on their age, say if they're 5-year-old, 5 drops of each, etc., and just go with a year for their age, depending on if they're a young child or if they're sort of an older child. You could use 10 drops of each. You don't necessarily need to follow this. This is just an idea probably to save you frankincense. That's why they've done 5 drops. So you just use your sort of intuition really with how you're going to use it. But really good way during the sort of when the kids are going back to school, rolling it on their feet and spine at night time, get into that routine of fluming them or fluming yourself. Just get that, make up some rollers of Flume, one in the kids' room, one in your own room, and get that on your bedside table so you can support yourself and make sure that your body is tip top, ready for the winter months coming up. And just looking at influenza in particular, and what we can use. Again, rosemary is coming up a lot, so rosemary is a key one. On Guard Tea Tree and Air. And all these can be used diluted and applied to the thymus area. For anyone who doesn't know, the thymus area, it's just there, the top of the lung, just below the throat. And applying the oils to this area is really effective. It's a small gland in our lymphatic system, which sort of produces our T cells and wards off infection. So it's a really key sort of point in our body for our immune system. So applying it there would be really effective. And these ones are great for applying in that area. Peppermint's great for nausea if you've got influenza and you feel sick. Taking peppermint or ginger in a capsule will help with feelings of nausea as well, to ward off those. Make sure you're topped up nutritionally as well at this time of year. If you're not on your vitamins, then up your dose now, or start taking them more regularly, because you want to get strong, ready for winter. So Microplex VMZ is your A to Z of vitamins and minerals. We know how important all these vitamin D and zinc and magnesium are for our body. So that would be a really good idea to start getting into that habit of using these daily. And then we have got the Flume Bomb, as we mentioned, but I find the On Guard Plus soft gels, if anyone's not tried them, these are like On Guard on steroids, like supercharged On Guard. So they contain extra black pepper, as we mentioned, and melissa, and extra oregano as well. So if you don't want to be messing about with making the Flume Bomb, I would take an On Guard Plus soft gel if you're feeling run down. They are really handy. I think they're about £21 for a tub. And you know, if I've got friends who maybe they've been ill and they say, what can you give me? And I'll just give them a bag full of On Guard Plus and say, take them for a few days, and it's really done the job. So we can't always make capsules up for people, but we could offer them the On Guard Plus soft gels if you want to support somebody who's feeling a bit run down. Anything like COVID or anything like that, On Guard Plus soft gels are just brilliant. I had a really good experience. Somebody was in bed, not good experience because he was in bed. He had loads of like mumps around his throat. He couldn't get out of bed, high fever. And my friend just said, what have you got? So I just gave him I only had 5 soft gels left. And he was a big guy. So I said, just take 2 now and see how you get on. She just texted me about 2 hours later. He's out of bed. And the lumps have gone. I was like, wow, I didn't expect it that quick. So yeah, if in doubt, On Guard Plus soft gels for anything. You can take them, obviously you take them when you're poorly, but if you want to take them like once or twice a week as a preventative, then that's a nice way as well to be proactive. And just our immune system in general, these are the top oils that we would want to reach to. Frankincense, clove, rosemary, oregano, all the Flume ones, but extra clove is brilliant, and rosemary. Diffusing On Guard and rosemary in the room would be really good for our breathing and helping to clear our airways. And these oils here can actually stimulate the immune system. So that's something to keep in mind when we're using it, even lavender as well. So lavender is a great all-rounder. So if anyone's not using lavender at night time anyway, that's just going to help you with your immune system as well as your relaxation as well. And Lisa's going to go into a little bit more with the Mito2 Max, I think, but these supplements are a real key player in helping us to have the vitality that we need and to sort of tick all the boxes with our bases, really. So Mito2 Max for me has been absolutely fantastic, but I won't talk too much. I'll maybe mention it after what it's done for me. I've been experimenting with it and I can't believe the difference. But yeah, having these around in the winter seasons is a lovely way to support ourselves. And then for children, so obviously you can use the oils that we mentioned on children as long as it's more diluted, but we have got the little On Guard beadlets, which is 1/4 of a drop of oil, and these are handy for sort of mid to older kids to take. I just give them 1 On Guard beadlet a day and 1 PB Assist Junior, and they're hardly ill. So a sachet of the probiotics and an On Guard beadlet right through to the springtime, just to support their immunity. For sore throats, we've got the On Guard drops, like scratchy throats, are really soothing. Obviously, frankincense is great for kids. So, you know, if you're making a roll, we'll put some frankincense in. And we've got the nutritional line for children. which are whole food, good quality, high quality fish oils and vitamins. And then we've also got a stronger blend, which is like the version of On Guard, but it's got slightly different oils in, because we all know On Guard's great, but it's got rose in, cedarwood, and all these oils have been studied for their ability to help to basically make kids stronger. So whichever you choose, they're all going to benefit the children. And obviously clear airways, we've got air there, but in the room, a good thing to do would be to diffuse air in the kids' room at night time and On Guard, or swap and change at bedtime. So that's the children. And I think, oh yes, just one more thing I wanted to mention. There's a couple of kits in your shop that you might not know about: immune booster kit and a wellness support kit. Sometimes if you're running out a lot of stuff and you want to buy a lot, but you can actually save money this way. I think you save 20-30 pound. I'll have to work it out properly, but definitely this one you save about 20 pound just getting them all in one go. And this one is a good saver as well, and that contains the On Guard beadlets for like the kids, On Guard for you. So that's a nice little one to get if you're thinking of sort of stocking up on your immune supplies there. So now, without further ado, I'm gonna stop sharing and over to Lisa.
Thank you. Just going to share my screen. Okay, so let's just get rid of that. So just going to talk very briefly about fatigue and lack of energy. It's something that we all suffer from, but particularly going into the winter months, it can hit some of us a bit harder through those months. So this is just a few things that can cause fatigue. So inflammation in the body, that's something that can really take its toll on our body actually without us realizing. And I'm not just talking inflammation like swollen ankles or knees or things like that. I'm talking about the actual your body being inflamed, which is something that you might not even realize is going on. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a bit later. We've talked about immunity this evening, and actually immunity and fatigue go hand in hand. Literally, they fit like gloves. So if your immunity is strong, your fatigue is going to be much less. So it's really important actually to think about how much are we strengthening our immune system so that our body can actually work, because we sometimes forget our bodies are machines. They're working so hard all the time. They're going to get tired. So are we doing everything that we can to strengthen our body, particularly the immune system? Because our bodies cannot function without a healthy immune system. Simple things like toxins, swapping chemical products at home for more natural things, that can make a massive difference to how we're feeling when it comes to fatigue and energy. Sleep, that might seem like an obvious thing, but actually, are we getting quality sleep, not just quick naps or whatever sleep we can get? Even down to the food that we're eating, food sensitivities, are we getting the right nutrients? All of these things can contribute to how we're feeling when it comes to our energy level and our fatigue. So just thinking of that, fatigue in itself, we often just think it's feeling tired, but it can be caused by a number of things, and sometimes multiple things. So it could be caused from medical conditions, for example, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. It could be caused from just living an unhealthy lifestyle, being very unbalanced, not going to bed early enough, getting up, and having early mornings, not actually putting aside time to rest. And also the workplace problems and stress. Stress takes its toll on our body. It can really emphasize our lack of energy and our fatigue. So thinking of those things, and then we have to ask ourselves and be quite honest with ourselves, why are we feeling fatigue? Identifying the problem. Can we make any little changes, or can we start to incorporate things into our routine to help us with our fatigue or lack of energy? So changing our diet is something that we could look at. And yes, it does say by avoiding caffeine. I know a lot of us, I love coffee. I'm a real coffee drinker. But when I was under the chronic fatigue team, something that they really, really stressed was how caffeine actually does the complete opposite to what society thinks it does to us. And they actually recommend not having caffeine after 12 o'clock lunchtime, which sounds really, really early. But actually, caffeine can stay within our body for up to about 8 hours. And if we're drinking it regularly, it's constantly going to be in our system. So by stopping at 12 o'clock, you're giving your body time to rid the caffeine from your body, so that you then don't have those receptors that are working overtime because you've stimulated them with the caffeine. So I still drink coffee. I just have decaf coffee, decaf green tea, things like that. Avoiding excess sugar and carbohydrates. Again, that can seem crazy to sort of think, oh, you know, I can't now eat sugar and carbohydrates. That's not what we're saying. It's just looking at these things and understanding the effects that they do on your body. Sugar, obviously, we know it gives you that energy high, then you have that energy crash, and having that instability in our sugar levels creates so much fatigue within our body because our body is having to cope with it. So it's about keeping it balanced. We need to think about the healthy fats that we're eating, proteins, plenty of fresh vegetables, things like that. But obviously, the foods that we have today, even if we are eating really, really well, they do lack the nutrition that they had like 50 years ago. I think it's something like, to get as much nutrients now out of an apple, that you could have eaten one apple in 1950, you have to have like 100 now. And oranges, in 1950, you could have one orange. Today, you'd have to have 21. It's crazy how much our food is lacking. So this is why I've got those little pictures there of the Lifelong Vitality. We've already seen how they can help with our immunity, but the Lifelong Vitality Pack, it has everything in there that our body needs on a nutritional level. And then gut health is so, so important for our energy levels. 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So when you think about that in itself, you really want to have really good gut health, because if you have good gut health, you're going to have good immunity, which means your fatigue is going to be so much better. So we've got PB Assist with all those probiotics and prebiotics, and they're double encapsulated so that they go right into your digestive tract, not just into your stomach. And then you've got the children's version as well, although I must say I absolutely love them as an adult because they are really sweet, like sherbet. They're not sugar, obviously. They're doTERRA products. They're full of all the probiotics and everything you need, but they've done it in such a clever way that it feels like a sweet treat. So if you do have a sweet tooth, you can have one of these in the afternoon at 3 o'clock instead of that chocolate bar that you might go to. You're going to be keeping your sugar levels level, but at the same time, you're helping your gut as well. And then, although when you're feeling tired and fatigued, the last thing you might feel like doing is doing some exercise, but I can absolutely 100% vouch for this. If you are feeling shattered, just go for a walk. Just around the block, 5 minutes, just take some nice deep breaths, just get your body moving. It gets everything going. Your metabolism needs the movement in your body to get it going. I've learned quite a lot of this by talking to a lot of personal trainers at the gym, and movement is key when you are tired. Although you don't feel like it. Simply, if you're sitting on the sofa and you don't want to go for a walk, just stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, get the blood flowing through your body. We need that blood flowing to oxygenate our blood, which then gets to our brain and oxygenates everything, and then it will actually lift that fatigue that you're feeling. And actually then you're going to sleep a bit better because you're going to be more tired. The more you move, the more tired you're going to be. So I've got a little picture there of the Mito 2 Max. I have got another slide. I'm sorry, I've been rushing around today and I haven't looked at these since I've done them. I will talk about Mito 2 Max. I'm sure it's on another slide as well. So this might seem pretty obvious, but this is just a few foods to avoid or to have a lot less of, because these foods actually drain you of energy. Okay, so rather than go and do a screen of all the foods that you can eat, because actually we'd have like 100 screens, there's so much food you can eat. It's much simpler to say foods that actually drain your energy. So refined carbohydrates, white bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, cereals. Cereals in particular, even the healthy cereals can be full of sugar. So it's worth looking at the sugar content in them and just thinking a bit more natural. So go for like wholemeal and brown rice and brown pastas and things like that. We've already talked about caffeine, but energy drinks are so popular with so many people, but they are just absolutely horrendous for your body. So much better to have like a peppermint tea or peppermint water or something like that to wake you up and boost your energy. Processed foods and fried foods really slow your body down. Our bodies have to work so hard to break them up, and that in itself will cause fatigue. Alcohol, although some people feel it's a stimulant for them, again, it can give you that sort of spike and then you have that crash, so it's not very good. And the thing to really watch out for actually is low fat food. They take all the sugar out, they take all the fat out, but they often replace that with sugar. So it's worth looking at your yogurt. I tend to get full fat Greek yogurt because it's got the lowest sugar content, but you've got the most protein in there. So you just have less of it. So it's just looking at these things and just sort of educating ourselves into what actually is in our food and what is it going to do. And are there any little swaps? If you're thinking of swaps in your home when it comes to cleaning products, you're just doing a simple little swap when it comes to what you're consuming and putting in your body. And these are just some tips to cope with fatigue. So I have chronic fatigue syndrome. For those of you that don't know, I've had it for 20 years. I'm a lot better now because I've educated myself. I know what suits me, and you obviously have to find what suits you. But these are things that I've been told by the teams that I've worked with at the hospital who help people who have these things to really just look at different aspects and try and make it simple, because it's not easy to live with when you have fatigue of any level, whether it's chronic or whether it's just a daily fatigue that you're facing. But first of all, nutrition. So nutrition is absolutely key. I've tried to ignore that because I like all the foods that we shouldn't like. I put my hands up. I have a really sweet tooth. I love baking. But it is about education, and when you realize what certain foods actually do to your body or what your body has to do to be able to process it, that's when you really start to think, okay, I don't want to put that into my body. And then I have to say the Lifelong Vitality pack has been an absolute game changer for me. Sorry, what have I done? There we go. I think someone's just coming in. Sorry, just getting rid of all these things on my screen. So the Lifelong Vitality, so my energy is better, my gut is better, my even like my nails, I have to file my nails down now because they grow too long rather than because they're breaking. So obviously the nutrients are getting into every single bit. But I think the biggest thing for me with the Lifelong Vitality is that I sleep better. So I still don't sleep all through the night. I still wake up 3 or 4 times a night, but believe me, that is better than I used to. So they have been amazing. So I would say if you haven't tried Lifelong Vitality, do give them a go, particularly thinking of the immunity as well. They do come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you've really got nothing to lose. Give them a go. And then think about the probiotics as well, so that you've got a really, really good gut, because if your gut is healthy, you're going to feel so much better. It's so true. We are what we eat. I think this is the biggest one. The second one is identifying the cause of fatigue. So be really, really honest with yourself. Are you overworking? Do you need to schedule some me time? Are you always helping others? So do you need to learn to say no sometimes? Could it be that you have an autoimmune disease like chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia or lupus or something like that? Because those things really do affect the body, but it doesn't mean to say there's nothing you can do. There's so much you can do if you have those things. And one of the biggest things, as I said, is eliminating the food groups that actually trigger those things. So when it comes to inflammation in the body and autoimmune disease, there are certain foods that you really should avoid because they actually trigger those symptoms. So it's worth looking into. And of course, you can use doTERRA products to help with that fatigue. So any of those things, whether you're overworked or have any certain illnesses, there's so many products that you can use. So On Guard, I take a drop of On Guard under my tongue every night before I go to bed because our immune system works super, super hard while we're sleeping. So I just feel like I'm giving it a helping hand. Having a nice bath before bed, particularly with Epsom salts or adding magnesium, because magnesium is incredible for fatigue and everything. And the good thing as well is you can actually get magnesium from dark chocolate. So no, it's not all bad. Dark chocolate and avocados for magnesium. And then just taking some time out for yourself, read a nice book and things like that. So they can all help with just calming ourselves down a bit and taking a bit of time. The next one, getting adequate rest. So they actually at the hospital said how important a routine is, a rest routine. So I have the same bedtime every night if I can. I say if I can, occasionally it gets broken, but generally I have the same bedtime and I have the same wake up time, 7 days a week, no extra lay-in because it's the weekend or anything like that. You'll be surprised how incredibly beneficial that is for your body. And also, I always have a cooler bedroom. Never let it get too warm. You sleep so much better when the bedroom is a little bit cooler. And for me as well, being completely dark, I even sleep with a sleep mask on, so it just helps the brain to relax. But if you do need a power nap in the day, take one. But they said no more than 20 minutes because after that your body goes into too deep a sleep and then you can actually wake up feeling worse. So little power nap. And then obviously when it comes to products, we've got the Serenity combo, which I absolutely love. The Serenity soft gels, I take one a night, and if I really need to have extra, I take two, and they really do help with better quality sleep. And then of course you've got lavender and the Serenity blend you could add to your water, your bath water, your bath salts. You can make a roller, put it in your diffuser to really help you to just relax and rest. And then the moving every day, even if it's like the last thing you want to do, just try and get up and move. You'll be surprised how it changes how you feel almost instantly. The Mito 2 Max, this is the energy and stamina complex. It's absolutely amazing actually what are in these little supplements. So there's an ingredient called ashwagandha, and ashwagandha is incredible actually when you look it up. It can do so many things, but it can help with inflammation. So if you're feeling fatigued because your body is inflamed, it helps with that. It helps with mood and memory, which it's going to, if it's going to get everything going in your body. Remember what I said about if your blood is flowing and oxygenated, your brain is going to function better. So Mito 2 Max can help with that. It also can help with stress and anxiety, even lowering our blood sugar and fat absorbability within our body. So it's definitely worth looking into with the Mito 2 Max. All I'd say is do not take this near bedtime. A friend of mine did because she got her order and was so excited to take it, and then she was up all night. So take it in the morning with this for Mito 2 Max. When you get the Lifelong Vitality Pack as well, you can add Mito 2 Max on for less than half price. So it's a really good little combo. You can edit your kit and you can add Mito 2 Max on, and you can add PB Assist as well for less than half price, or maybe, yeah, half price. So it's worth looking into. And then, of course, peppermint oil itself, if you're feeling fatigued. I love to do this when I'm at work, like 2:30, 3 o'clock, when I think, oh, I can't work anymore, I'm so tired, and I just do the sniff from the hands with the peppermint. Really helps to just wake you up and get you going again. And then something that I really underestimated actually is how much water we should be drinking, how we need to keep hydrated. So water actually helps to give our body energy because it prevents dehydration. And then if we're dehydrated, we actually will feel more fatigued. Staying hydrated moves the oxygen around our body, which helps us to stay alert. So that's why even if you're feeling fatigued, a drop of peppermint in some water will really help to perk you up. But when it comes to drinking water, I mean, I drink at least 2 of these a day, if not 3. And the more I drink, the better I feel. And although some of you might be thinking, oh, if I drank all that, I'd be on the toilet all day. Believe me, within a few days, your body adjusts. It's amazing. Our bodies are incredible. So yeah, when you first start upping your water intake, you might find that you're going to the bathroom more regularly, but your body will eventually level out and you will feel so much better when you keep hydrated. And then obviously you can add whatever oils you want into your water to make the water more appealing, and you'll just enjoy it so much more. So I think that is it. Yeah. So hopefully you found some of that helpful. So over to you, Rachel.
Thank you very much, Lisa. That's brilliant. I've just did some calculations with that pack that I was talking about. So yeah, you save with the immune booster kit. If you were to buy them individually, it would be 122, and you save £18.50. And this wellness support kit, you save £28.50. So if you wanted them all, obviously sometimes you don't need them all, but it's worth getting the kits rather than individual. And Rebecca, I know is Rebecca gone? No, she's still there. Rebecca's jumped on.
Yeah, sorry, I'm here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want you to miss the offers, so I just wanted to. Obviously, I'll send you a recording, but basically, we just went through the products, and the main one is the Rescuer, which is great for soothing children for sort of growing pains and anything like that, aches and pains and tension, headaches. It's got spearmint, copaiba, and lavender. So that's the product of the month that's free. And then we've got the 3 of the deep blues that you can get for free as well. But I'll send you the recording as well. So what we're going to do now is just stop recording and then just open up to questions.